Yesterday I finished by just outlining what the different sections of the bill did and some of my views on those, but I also want to deal with other recommendations of the review of the Fair Deal scheme, which I think the Government and the Minister needs to look at. There was 32 administrative recommendations which were made in the review, and there has been no update on their implementation. There was 13 pricing recommendations were made, and there is a need for a report on their implementation. There was 12 recommendations that were made on a future model for social care, and there should be a report on the implementation of these. For me, there's a huge amount of work to be done in relation to a new model of social care. We all know that the pandemic has shown up many failings in clinical governance and oversight. It has also shown up many failings in relation to the lack of integrated systems, and in some cases a lack of knowledge of the sector on behalf of the HSE. It's interesting that hikwa at an Oireachtas Health Committee meeting a number of weeks ago, Minister, was saying that in their opinion the HSE were not fully aware and had not had the knowledge of the sector that they were purchasing services from. And they were talking about nursing homes and other areas as well. And obviously that's a problem. There's issues in relation to poor standards. There is certainly an issue in relation to the lack of authority for safeguarding. And that's something that I know the Government say they are committed to, with looking at putting safeguarding on a statutory basis and looking at new legislation in this area, but it has to be a priority. We also have to look at strengthening the powers of hikwa, Minister, in relation to nursing homes, both public and private. Again, hikwa have said that their powers are essentially a blunt instrument, and that on either side of those powers they don't have enough ability and flexibility in between to be able to work with nursing homes and work with approved centres for older people and approved centres for people with disabilities to make improvements which are necessary, and they want what are called improvement notices, similar to what the Health and Safety Authority have, and I think that would be important as well. There's also young people with disabilities, some even children who we know have been placed in centres for older people. That was something that was the subject of the Primetime Investigates programme some months ago, Minister, as well, and it's an issue that needs to be dealt with. And essentially we need to deliver a high standard and a fully public model of care for older people. The statutory home care scheme needs to be expedited, and it was reported at the end of last year that it was pushed to 2022 because, and I quote, the IT system and a new assessment process has yet to be developed. And again, problems with IT systems, not in relation obviously to cyber security, thankfully in this instance, but in relation to the fact that we don't have a modern IT infrastructure in our healthcare system right across the board that impacts on the ability of the state to be able to respond to new systems and new policies and new processes when it needs to. So I support the bill insofar as it goes, Minister. The welcome development of this bill is the 3-year cap on assessments of transferred assets to protect the viability of family farms and businesses. Deputy Butler, or Minister Butler and myself share the same constituency, and we would have attended many meetings of the Irish Farming Association over many years and other farming representative groups, often at election time, where we're in the cut and trusted debate. But this was one of the issues that came up time and again, and I see this bill and what the bill intends to do as one of the resolutions of those issues that was raised with us time and again. And as I said, I support the bill and I commend the Minister for bringing the bill forward. Thank you, Ken Corlin.
Thank you, Deputy.